Welcome back to the Lumios Post, where we talk about all things Pokemon, and today we're going to be talking about what the wonders of the Johto region are. This is a series that we've started with the Kanto region, where we want to look at each region, kind of decide what their wonders, like their big landmarks are. This comes from in Scarlet and Violet. They actually do have the wonders of, or the 10 sites of Paldea, and then they have the wonders of Kitakami. And I'd like to give this to other regions because I think this is a really cool, small but cool way that Pokemon can kind of build the world of Pokemon and just make it feel a little more real, you know, by showing us what the big attractions are in these places, at least according to the citizens of each region. So with Johto, let's get right into it with the first one, and that is Mount Silver Summit. Mount Silver obviously has to be on this list. It is like the tallest mountain in the Johto region. It's very likely the tallest mountain in Johto, Kanto, Sinnoh, Hoenn, like all the Japanese regions combined, given that it's based off Mount Fuji, which is the case in Japan, if I'm not mistaken. Starting to second guess that now, but I think that's correct. But either way, this would definitely have to be there. Not only is it such in-world a massive and a impressive landmark, but also out-of-world, you know, here in the real world, Mount Silver's pretty important in the Pokemon games. You know, that is where you get the big plot twist of getting to battle Red, the character you played as in Gen 1, in Generation 2. With your Generation 2 team, you have to face the guy that you had played as in the last game. And that was an insane twist, and it's an iconic moment in Pokemon history. So I feel like they've got to encapsulate that. And I think doing Mount Silver Summit is a really cool way of acknowledging that that's where we battled Red. But also, I imagine the view from up there is beautiful. You could probably see all of the Johto region, or at least a lot of the Johto region. And if you look in the other direction, a lot of the Kanto region. So it's the perfect location for if one of these is correct, it's this one. So as we get into the other ones, like I said, that's the first one I was able to come up with. But honestly, the Johto region is really difficult to pick these because the Johto region has so much to offer, and it has so many landmarks, and both man-made and natural, that it's just so impressive. And so it was really difficult for me to pick these, and especially pick them where they're at least kind of spaced out. And so that brought me to Ecruteak City, where there are honestly two great choices. There's the Bell Tower and there's the Burn Tower. And ultimately, I decided to go with the Burn Tower. And I think the importance of the Burn Tower is that, you know, it used to be the old Bell Tower. It used to be Ho-Oh's old tower. And, of course, it was once caught fire, and a lot of Pokemon suffered from that. In fact, it is the birthplace of the legendary beasts, as 3 Pokemon died and Ho-Oh resurrected them as Suicune, Raikou, and Entei. I think that the Burn Tower is the better landmark, just because, for one, everyone's allowed to see it, whereas the Bell Tower, you know, is a bit more limited. But for 2, it's also, I feel like, a little bit more symbolic. You know, it's the original one, and the people of Ecruteak left it still standing even after it burned down, just to kind of be a reminder, you know, of the power of nature and the, you know, importance of protecting the things we love, you know. And so I think the Burn Tower still carries all the weight that the Bell Tower does, but also carries a little bit more. I keep saying the Bell Tower. I think it's the 10 Tower, actually. I apologize. Another tower just south of the Burn Tower is the Sprout Tower. This is over in Violet City, and I think that this one absolutely has to be on there. Not only is this an ancient building, you know, it's a building that's been here for a really, really long time, but it actually is very impressive too, because you can actually watch, due to the Pokemon battles, the beam in the middle sway, but the building still stands, and the building's still okay, and it's safe to go to the top, or at least they let you. Maybe it's not safe, but they let you. So I think that this is the perfect place to be a landmark, one of the wonders of the Johto region. Moving west from Violet City, we have the Ruins of Alph, also a landmark that I would say is definitely worth the title of a wonder of Johto. You know, the Ruins of Alph are these old ruins that you can find unknown there, which are these crazy powerful Pokemon, despite not being legendary or mythical Pokemon. And the interesting thing about that is it ties Johto into the Sinnoh region and the Sinjoh region, you know, and that's very interesting in itself. It's a potential puzzle piece to figuring out the secrets of the Pokemon universe and the origins of the Pokemon world, and maybe even Pokemon itself, as they're all connected to Arceus. So that alone, I think, makes it very interesting. But even aside from that, it's clearly very ancient, but also very advanced, right? Like, these people figured out a way to make trapdoors and make entrances to different areas just by doing little puzzles, you know, and little slide puzzles. So while it was from a long, long time ago, clearly the people were pretty advanced in their knowledge of, I guess, technology. And then moving a little more west from that, we have the National Park. The National Park obviously has to be on here. You know, it's home to the Pokeathlon. It's a beautiful park, and it's also home to the bug catching contest, which is a big attraction in the Johto region. So I feel like it absolutely has to be there. It's a great symbol of Pokemon and people coming together, right? Because there's tons of wild Pokemon there. There's the bug catching contest and the Pokeathlon, which, you know, requires humans working with Pokemon, and, you know, pretty much all the people here are out strolling with their Pokemon. I just think that's a beautiful sentiment, and absolutely has to be on this list of the wonders of Johto. And now we'll move a bit south from there, and we have Ilex Forest, specifically the Ilex Forest Shrine. You know, there's a mythical Pokemon in the Ilex Forest, and the people to this day make sure its shrine is kept up, and that shrine's been there for Arceus knows how long. So the fact that not only is there some, like, kind of deity's shrine as far as these people know, but also it's still kept up even by the people today who, you know, maybe don't even fully believe in that anymore. That's really cool, and it's very beautiful. And also, I mean, come on, Celebi's just the best, so you gotta have its landmark be a wonder of Johto. We also have, talking about this area, we have the Slowpoke well there, and I think that, again, is a beautiful symbol of people's relationship with Pokemon. Here, you know, the people practically idolized and worshipped Slowpoke. They relied on them for rain, and it built this well and all to, you know, in honor of the Slowpoke. And so it's cool to just have another symbol. I feel like that's what these things should be, right? I don't think they should just be like an impressive, like, oh, that's pretty. I think there should be a story to it. I think there should be a symbol behind it. And I think, you know, the first game that gave us being able to walk around with our Pokemon was Heart Gold and Soul Silver. So I say, what better way than to take that region, Johto, and make sure all of its wonders symbolize the relationship between people and Pokemon. Now we move into just some more impressive areas. First off, there's the Dragon's Den. You know, this has been in the Johto region for, you know, we really don't even know how long. And it's a civilization that exists inside a cave over water that has whirlpools in it. So it's very impressive. It's impressive that ancient people were able to build this, and it's also very important to Blackthorn's lore. We especially see this in the anime. You know, the Dragon Keepers are kind of the governing body of Blackthorn City, really. So that's really neat. And also, it's a home for trainers that are training Dragon-type Pokemon, which are, like, pretty much the strongest type of Pokemon if you have to pick one. So that's really neat. And it also has some ties to Lugia, so that in itself is very cool. Similarly, I would have to put the Whirl Islands also on this list. I mean, these are just impressive, right? These islands that have whirlpools surrounding them, and yet, you know, they're always there. These whirlpools are always there. They don't just sometimes pop up. No, they're always there, you know, and they're seemingly protecting this island. With no knowledge of Lugia being in the Whirl Islands, I feel like people would just naturally look at that and be like, that absolutely is a wonder. It is literally a wonder of the Pokemon world. You know, not only would I put it as a wonder of Johto, if I had to pick 10 from all around the Pokemon world, Whirl Islands would very likely be on that list. And then we're going to go west from the Whirl Islands and actually go to an area that you could not see in Gold, Silver, or Crystal, but was made into existence in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and that is Route 47. Route 47 is in between Cyanwood City and the Safari Zone of Johto. It is absolutely stunning. I mean, it's breathtaking. The music there, out of game for a moment, the music there is just like, mwah, you know, it's beautiful. Everything about this place is beautiful. The cliffs, the waterfall, like I said, the music, all of it is perfect. It even kind of has an ancient history to it, with there being like a little den that's tied to Groudon Kyogre. So all of that's very neat, and just the impressiveness of this route definitely puts it on the list as a wonder of Johto, in my opinion. Be sure to let me know what you think of my list. Let me know your list for what your 10 wonders of Johto would be in the comments below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so that I know you like this type of video and that you guys are enjoying this series, and so that I make more of them in the future. And until next time, I will see all of you later.